So who is the biggest wrongdoer in the world as for climate change at the moment?
In terms of the stock over humanity's lifetime, it's the United States. I think the word wrongdoer is not a terrible one, but I prefer a term like contributor, because the state of mind, at least of people a long, long time ago, wasn't evil or anything. It wasn't known what they were doing. But now there's knowledge.
We've had that knowledge for quite a while, right? So that's why maybe I use that word, because it's hard to justify.
So the simple point is, if the United States or China or Australia is emitting greenhouse gases, it's imposing a cost on its own people and on the world. And the moral claim is that the imposition of a cost by, let's say, the United States on the rest of the world, that is a moral wrong, and it should be stopped, or it should be reduced, or compensation should be paid. And that's the right thing to do, and it's not an act of charity. If you have been hurting somebody, you probably ought to stop and pay them for the damage you caused.
Right. So in climate justice, you say that the key question is who owes what to whom? And I wanted to ask you about your answer.
So if someone or a nation does harm through greenhouse gas emissions, then it's a matter of moral irrelevance where they live. And that's the moral cosmopolitan argument. Now, it isn't an argument that foreign aid is morally obligatory, though I also think that. It's that foreign harm is morally prohibited. And that's a much less contentious view. Now, in terms of the big question, who owes what to whom, there's the past emission problem also. And on corrective justice and distributive justice grounds, I say the contributors owe something to the people who are either suffering now or vulnerable for suffering in the future. So we know who are the beneficiaries of greenhouse gas emissions. Basically wealthy countries that have gotten wealthy because of activity that's involved emissions. We know the nations that are particularly vulnerable. They're not the wealthy nations. So it's kind of perfect, horrific storm of the wrongdoers, not the worst term, being the beneficiaries of what they've done, and the innocents being particularly at risk. So the first order judgment is that the wealthy nations on corrective justice combined with distributive justice grounds owe something to the people who are vulnerable.